World Downfall is the debut album by the grindcore band Terrorizer. This is requested by Capitalism Freedom 69, and this is really the only record by the band for like 17 years until they released Darker Days Ahead in 2006, which is a pretty mediocre comeback album. You know, at least from what I've heard. So this is a pretty influential grindcore album. I'm not the biggest grindcore fan, but I do like, I believe, Napalm Death is grindcore, and the first two Carcass albums are grindcore, I believe. Or are those gore grind? I believe those are gore grind. I'm not sure. I believe Napalm Death is grindcore and Carcass is gore grind. Whatever. I'm not the biggest expert on those things, but I'm not the biggest fan of those things. But I love Carcass and I like Napalm Death. So there we go. This is just basically a half hour of this, drum fills, crash cymbals, all that crazy shit. It is basically all of that for slightly longer than half an hour. It's 35 minutes long, something like that. And I really cannot say anything else about this record, because it's mostly the same. You have some different aspects here and there where the songs are different. Some songs are longer, like Afterworld, Obliteration, which is a great word, by the way. 39 minutes, so that is the longest track of the album. We have Fear of Napalm, which is also 3 minutes long. Corporation Pull In, which is 2 minutes. And we have Dead Shall Rise, which is also 3 minutes long. Those are basically the two longest songs of the four longest songs of the record, and that is why they probably are the best. We have some songs, from 2.5 minutes, and even Corporation Pull In is 2 minutes and 21 seconds, but it just is a slightly better song than all of the other songs that are almost 3 minutes long. So this is basically, a trashy album. It's trash, it's death, it's core in a way. It is just, slamming, brutal grindcore. It's wild, it's crazy, it's a wild beast. It is basically that for half an hour. So I can't really say that this is a, diverse album or something like that. And actually, Fear of Napalm was featured in the video game Grand Theft Auto 4: The Lost and Damned, and the song Dead Shall Rise was on the soundtrack for the video game Splatterhouse. Wow, I did not even notice that, because I've played the Lost and Damned DLC, but I haven't heard that song. Or maybe I've heard it, but probably didn't recognize it because I didn't know Terrorizer back then. But even then, it sounds all the same, so it isn't really. It's pretty difficult to separate from each other. But I did like the record. I actually really loved it, by the way, because I was just, trashing and, air drumming the entire time. The crazy crash cymbals and just the crazy drumming in general. The guttural vocals everywhere. Just the crazy guitar playing, the riffs that go everywhere. And this is actually produced by David Vincent, the lead singer of Morbid Angel, arguably one of the best death metal bands of all time. And yeah, actually, when this came out in 1989, Morbid Angel's debut album, Altars of Madness, as well came out, in 1989. So if you guys want me to review that, I can do that. But yeah, overall, I don't have a lot to say about this record. Yeah, joining Napalm Death and Pete Sandoval, joining Morbid Angel, David Vincent, was not an original member of Terrorizer, but filled in on bass due to his connection to Sandoval in Morbid Angel, because their original bassist Alfred Garvey Estrada was in jail at the time. Sure. But yeah, overall, you know, it has some classic songs. Afterworld Obliteration is a fantastic opener. Fear of Napalm is a really trashy, you know, it's kind of the same. It has an epic title, Fear of Napalm, you know, straight back to the Vietnam Wars, am I right? Fuck no. It's just a really trashy album. I mean, Resurrection is pretty cool. Corporation Pull-In is an epic one. That's a favorite of mine. Um, Ripped to Shreds is just really, you know, epic. It's heavy metal classic. Whirlwind Struggle is kind of a struggle. You know, it's epic again. You know, I cannot really say anything about this record really. And World Downfall, of course, is the perfect closer for this. And That Shall Rise. I mean, it's pretty much a fantastic grindcore album. And I cannot really talk about, you know, separate songs because they're all the same basically. But you know, I still wanted to review this because it is a really great grindcore album. It's probably the greatest grindcore album I've ever heard. If it is gonna get beat, it is gonna be pretty difficult because this is a really fantastic album. So I'm gonna leave it with that. Yeah, overall, this is just a really great grindcore album. Great cover art, you know, with dolls in the back and a cannon, and with Jesus, you know, the Jesus Christ post. It's just a really fantastic grindcore album. Really fantastic cover art. The Terrorizer the bloody logo is right there on Jesus' head. It is just a really controversial, perfect. It has 16 tracks, which is a lot, but not a lot for grindcore because it's basically all the same shit. But I mean, yeah, I mean, and this record, man, oh my god, it is just so great. Yeah, I mean, I just really loved it. I cannot really say anything else about this record, so I'm gonna give it a 9.3. The only reason it's not a 10 because, you know, it's grindcore. I'm not the biggest fan of grindcore. You know, that is not really legit criticism, but I'm just not, you know, the biggest grindcore fan. It was just a bit too short for me as well, although that's kind of the point with grindcore, you know, to be short and sweet to the point. So you know, in aspect, this is a perfect record. This is a 10, but I'm just not the biggest grindcore fan. I just love some variety and just some actual lengths. I'm just not the biggest fan of, you know, these short and to the point tracks. Although, you know, it's basically the perfect grindcore album. So, you know, if I really was a grindcore head or something like that, this would be like the magnum opus. This would be like a perfect 10. But for me, at least, you know, for me, you know, just looking at this record, just listening to it, this is a 9.3 for me. So I still really loved it, but you know, it's not perfect because I don't know, you know, you know, just some songs are actually, a lot of them are just 1 minute long and don't really add anything. They're just the same. They have really cool titles though: Storm of Stress, Strategic Warheads, Condemned System. Really cool titles. I really love these titles. Need to Live, epic. Injustice, cool. Infestation. I mean, all of these titles are so really great. I really love every title of this record. It is just all great. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. I've already said that word for like 100 times in this review, but really just check this out. 9.3 for me. If I was a grindcore expert or gore grind or whatever this is, I would give it a 10, but I'm not the biggest fan of the genre, so it's still a really high rating. So let me know your opinion about this record in the comments down below. I cannot really talk about separate tracks because they're all the same basically. But I still hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your opinion in the comments down below. I really loved it, so let me know what you think about it. Do you think it's noise? Do you think it's a work of art? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to hear it from you. So yeah, that was the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. And of course, you know, like, comment, subscribe to the channel om more videos like this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, let me know if you want more albums like this. I'm not the biggest fan, but we can explore, of course. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys. God bless, stay safe, take care, and peace.